Here with Anne Phillips, Chair of Team USA Selection Committee at the U.S. Women's National Team Tryouts at UMBC. And first off, why don't we start with who's here, the best players in the country. Who comprises this group?
It is probably the best 81 players in the country. And from the 81, we're going to try to pick the best 36 that compete this weekend. So for a 3-day period, we test them physically, mentally, intellectually, and we try to, what we think we try to bring to the World Cup are the 36 best players that play best together.
And is that really what you're looking for throughout the selection process? Well,
in the selection process, one of the things that we've tried to do is evaluate every single player in the same 4 categories. The most important thing that we evaluate is their stick work. That's what we call the technical part of the game. It's a game that's played with a ball and a stick, and that is a very, very crucial part of the game. So every single player is evaluated about her stick work. Second, tactically, we evaluate them, how well they understand the game, their lax IQ, how they understand a man-up situation, a man-down situation, and what we're trying to teach them. Give them a scenario, what we're looking for, and see how well they can execute what we're trying to teach them. Third, we evaluate them physically. That's speed, quickness, lateral, vertical, in short games, in small game situations, and also in full field situations. And the last category we call psychological, which is kind of the catch-all category, and basically it's evaluating them with mental toughness. It's hard to come out here and compete for 3 days in this kind of heat. Leadership, communication on the field. If you'll hear behind us, the defense, who's directing the defense, who's directing the offense. So the leadership communication factor is huge, especially at the highest level. So every single player that tries out for US, every single selector evaluates in those 4 categories, and when the selectors meet, we discuss each player in those categories and hopefully give everyone a fair evaluation, and through that process come up with the top 36.
And under the category of physical, I guess that's how you kind of structure the weekend in terms of drills and scrimmages.
Well, we need to see them do a lot of things. We do a lot of small game situations, positionally correct. So attackers are playing attack and defenders are playing defense. Middies are playing both ways. We try to do as much as we can, but we also design the tryout for 3 days so that physically they're not depleted, so that they can scrimmage, and we do that at night. So we have given the tryout structure a format that is a lot of small game situation and a lot of breaks in between, with the full game scenario at night, so that we see every aspect and enough times that we can make a fair evaluation.
And then this is your last year as the selection committee chair.
Yes. Reflecting
on your time as the chair, what would you kind of say were the highlights, and how is this year different than years past?
Well, obviously it's a World Cup year, so this is like the most critical selection, I guess. But every year we've done the process the same way. So even though the result of this process, these players go on and represent the U.S. at the World Cup, the process that we go through every year is identical. And I think what I'm proud about our committee is they have bought into this process. Everyone evaluates the same way. It's a very cohesive group. I think a very talented group as far as coaches and lax IQ. And so in many ways, I think it's kind of the best lacrosse minds, and I get to work with them, so that's kind of a privilege. I think looking back, when I first became the selection chair, I think the selection process wasn't so organized and wasn't so structured. Every year that I've done it the same way, with the oversight of the national team coach, with his blessing. But basically what we're trying to do is bring consistency and transparency to the process, and I think the most important thing that I did was none of the selectors have any of the players' names. They only have their penny numbers. So all of our discussions are about penny numbers. All of my notes are numbers. And so we try to really take the personal relationships that some people have completely out of the equation and make it as objective as we possibly can. And then only the national team coach and myself have the list of names and numbers. So at the end, when the selection committee finishes, then I reveal everyone's name with their number at the end. So we really just have tried to make it objective and open, and I hope that the players feel like they got a full and fair evaluation from everyone. And at the end of the day, they gave it their best shot, and those 36 that make it are the most amazing players in the United States.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to explain that to us, and congratulations on your time as selection chair.
Thanks so much.